I don't know.
That's okay. You can go ahead and present.
Yeah, so my name is Tatiana. I'm part of the Moteu startup, a startup that aims to promote African languages. And in this work, we have noticed that low resource language are still underrepresented or neglected in the field of NLP, particularly in the language in Central Africa. And this is due to the challenge of encoding or sometimes to the absence of these resources online. So here we conducted some experiment. So the problem here, we investigate the challenge and the limitation of collecting the dataset for these specific languages. It grass-feed Bantu language spoken in Cameroon. And the contribution, we collected and translated some French sentences collected from the open source repository related to African context, and we present the language background and the methodology used sentence. We present some baseline model results and discuss their performance. And at the end, we highlight the challenge and limitations encountered during the data collection. So here, I will just skip this one. In our methodology, we conducted some analysis and recurring problem and concern encountered by the contributors. Since we were working with some linguistic, which know the language, and to improve the translation, we sometimes had to verify the non-resistance of some complex term and adopt a specific translation technique. And for some other terms, we draw inspiration from the explanation in French and from the principle of forming the grammatical category to be translated in the targeted language. So here in this table, we reported some translated sentence, and from, if you notice, I don't know if you know French, so if you notice, these are sentences in Africa context. So, and we reported some translated sentence. So in this work, we collected something around 2,050 sentences, which we split into train and test 19 and 10%. And reported here in this table the number of tokens and the number of documents found in the dataset. And for experiment, we conducted some experiment by choosing some pre-trained language. So we wanted to know some baseline or preliminary results in only these few sentences, since the sentences are not were not enough. So we choose language model design for low resource and got some preliminary results reported in this table. So as metric, we reported Bleu, Comet, and TER, and here we observe a good performance with Bleu, score particularly on T5 small compared to other. But since here we are dealing with an extremely low resource language, we then decided, since Bleu may not really capture the semantic variation of the language, thus leading to less natural translation. So we decided to report Comet, which show better translation performance on MBAT and Opus, as this metric better takes into account deeper linguistic feature and semantic meaning. So since it's also built on neural model trained on a variety of languages, has better cross-lingual capability and can generalize well. So in addition, we also reported TER, but we also provide a valuable insight to the influence of the translation, but the results are not really present something useful. So regarding the challenge itself, in this work, we found that translated scientific and technological terms such as grammar, robots, word, processing were not really easy, and sometimes you have to report the word as they are, and also there are some untranslatable terms due to the lack of corresponding context in the Medumba language, like JavaScript, thermal power station, and also translating some scientific concepts from physics were also not easy because they are not equivalent or reality that could provide inspiration for this word. And also we have some legal terms, expressions, democracy, and so on, which have no equivalent in the Medumba language, and also the absence of direct equivalent in the Medumba language, which has led us to sometimes paraphrase and borrowing. And also encounter some financial and material barriers, since we needed a lot of resources like linguistic, and sometimes the languages are not comfortable with the informatic tools and so on. So you need to find good languages users are comfortable with all those things, and you need to pay them and so on. So these were the challenge we've encountered during this work. So at the end, to conclude, we investigate in this work the challenge and limitation of gathering resource of an extremely low resource language, Medumba. And in the future, we are still working on collecting more sentences to deepen the experimental in order to have some insightful translation system. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Very interesting. I have a quick question, and then if anyone else wants to go, they can as well. It seems from your paper, all data was translated from French.
Yes.
Do you think there are realistic sources you could build out that are originally in Medumba? Or is the data just too difficult to get?
Yes. You mean the dataset in French, or in Mendo, the translated version of the dataset?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you were able to create, do you think it's plausible to create, a significance text corpus that is original, native to the language, not translated from French?
We haven't tested this approach, so we were more focusing on translated text from French that we collected. So maybe we can also test this approach of creating text in the Nyongba language and see what we can come up with this.
Yeah, very good. Anyone else have questions? Please raise your hand too. Oh, yeah, or go ahead. There's a question. Chat, how do you translate words or expressions which don't exist in that language?
Yeah, the expression where sometimes we reported the expression as they are, and sometimes we took the explanation in French and then report it like, okay, if a word means this, so the explanation of the description of this word, the sentence that describes the word, this is what we translated in Medumba to explain what we mean. I don't know if you understand. Oh, I don't know if it replies. Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Any other questions?
Any more questions? All right, thank you. So